Fears that billions of rand allocated for flood relief may be misused in the way that COVID-19 relief funds were. The Ahmed Kathrada Foundation has joined other organizations and prominent leaders calling for plans to ensure this doesn't happen. Well, the foundation's Neeshan Balton joins us now to discuss this even further. Neeshan, thank you for your time and good morning to you. Let's talk about, the promise that the president made just last night, saying that there will be no room for corruption when it comes to the management of the funds with which the president has made a call to the private sector and to anyone, actually, quite frankly, who can donate to the KZN Floods. Do you believe that this can actually be kept?
Well, we must live in hope, and I'm grateful that he used that opportunity to make this announcement, and that further details are to be provided at this joint sitting of Parliament and the NCOP. But as our statement says, trust is earned, and I think the actions that will follow from these sentiments would be the important test. But I would want to believe the president, because I think he knows that at this point the country needs trust, it needs hope, and it needs to come out of this devastation believing that government can do its job in a way that leaves people better and lives improved.
How differently do you think government should manage the funds this time around? The president mentioned that they'll be calling on the Solidarity Fund to assist, and we know that funds previously that were meant for COVID-19 had been misused, had been irregularly, misused. And I know that the WHO Director General, Dr. Tedros, even calling it quite a disaster and tragic that funds that were used to, or rather meant to assist those who were dying and who needed help, even first responders on the line, were used in that kind of manner. How do you think this time around government should keep an eye on these funds and manage them?
Well, we make the call that this starts with transparency, with a view towards being much more accountable. And I think there was a hint yesterday at a couple of things. One is to get the Solidarity Fund involved, and the Solidarity Fund would include portions of government's funding as well, and I think that will be directed towards relief work. And given the track record of that fund in the past, I think it has done better than most government agencies. Secondly, there was a hint of the involvement of a range of civil society formations, professional bodies, and other people who have the skills and expertise in monitoring the disbursement of funds and also monitoring the impact of its usage. Now, those details is really what we would be looking out for over the next few days to understand what mechanisms will be established and how this will work. But the intentions, I think, have been good thus far. Let's hope that they move, the actions that follow from this are ones that will be credible.
In terms of the fund, how much more do you think would still need to be donated or still need to be given to assist? I mean, when looking at those visuals, homes being destroyed, children still need to go back to school, Neeshan. They don't have uniform, they don't have stationery according to their parents. We know that R1 billion now has been set aside immediately by government. Would this be enough? Is there more that still needs to be given so that the rebuilding of KZN and where particularly these floods have affected can, of course, be rebuilt and be brought back to normal?
No, I think R1 billion is small change at this point in time. Just the figures and the devastation that was, I think, all visible to everybody. This is tens of billions, if not hundreds of billions rand worth infrastructure that will need to be rebuilt. But it also requires the reprioritization of existing budgets at provincial, national and local levels. And I think the other point that was made is that the reprioritization of the budget will have to be tabled before Parliament. And again, that's something that will give us the kind of detail that you're looking for.
Right. As the Ahmed Kathrada Foundation, I mean, what has been your contribution, I suppose, on the ground since we've seen the devastation that ravaged KZN a couple of days ago?
Well, Our involvement is really the kind of work that we've been doing, calling attention to a possible likelihood and mobilizing against this kind of experience. We call for support to existing relief and credible relief organizations beyond those who just have a bank account on social media. In the next few days, the various youth organizations and youth structures of the foundation will begin to look at how they do relief work in their communities and how these will be channeled to people in KZN. We are not a relief organization. That is not our expertise. But where we can, we will provide whatever support we can.
All right. Well, we'll leave it there and appreciate you speaking to us. Neeshan Balton, Director of the Ahmed Kathrada Foundation. Thank you so much for your time this morning.